to tell you something that might sound like a bit of a contradiction. This Carpuride 702S Pro might be one of the best things I've added to this bike, but I don't really like the look of it. You see, the Heritage, it's a retro bike. It's old school. So putting a 7-inch touchscreen on the bars isn't exactly keeping with the old school theme, and that bothers me a bit. But here's the thing. You see, it's genuinely a good screen. It's very clear, and being a 7-inch screen, it really suits an older rider who doesn't have to squint to see the screen as much, which is really good. And I've been riding with it on my bike for a few days now, and I've got no plans to take it off. So I've ordered some additional brackets and things to help me center it more in front of the risers and down, so it looks more like a factory feel. And they're going to be coming, so I'm going to be doing that when that arrives. Now, you do commonly see these on adventure bikes, but I'm going to show you my perspective from a cruiser rider with a V-twin, how you can mount these on your bike so it doesn't look like a cheap bagger. Let's have a look. So we did get a little bit of rain on the screen. The screen is very clear. Obviously, I'd love it to be more over here. You've got a few different mounting options. So you've got your handlebar clamp. Okay, so let's talk about what the Carpuride 702S Pro is all about. So essentially, it is a Android Auto Apple CarPlay device. So it has wireless Apple CarPlay and it has Android Auto. You've got Spotify if you want Spotify, you've got calls. Do everything you would do on a typical Android Auto screen. Now, if you touch this from the top, you can actually go to the menu, which case you've got additional options from your audio output, which can connect to your different Bluetooth devices. It's got dual Bluetooth, which allows you to have simultaneous connections to smartphones and up to 2 Bluetooth helmets and headsets. So it allows you to enable sharing between the rider and passenger, which is pretty cool. Has an intercom mode. It also has a 7-inch IPS touchscreen with 1024 by 600 resolution and 1000 nits of brightness. The first thing you're gonna notice is this screen is 7 inches. Now that is a proper size navigation for a bike. So I've used smaller screens and I can tell you just my initial impressions, I really do appreciate the larger screen, especially as an older rider. The bigger screen allows you to be able to touch that with your gloves as well, so it's glove friendly. Very happy with the screen size. Testing it so far, the screen looks really good. It is a little bit of an overcast day today. It's not super sunny, so it may look a bit brighter today than normal, but so far I've been pretty happy with it. It's also IP67 waterproof. It has an auto dimming feature where it will dim the screen, say when you're at night, go through a dark tunnel, so it's not super bright. And it has a storage card slot where you can insert 64GB memory card to allow you to store your own music and video, even a logo, to have a custom logo on the screen. So it does come with TPMS valve caps that have worked straight out of the box. I basically just put them on my bike and tested them, and straight away they worked. It also has a compass and barometer setting on the device. It helps you track direction and altitude if you want that from the home screen. It has SOS emergency call that can automatically detect if you have a crash and allows for emergency contact alerts. It has a quick release bracket to allow you to use a security key to just take the screen off. It is basically locked onto the mount. You can't take it off without the key, but if you've got the security key, you can, which is cool. And that really covers the core features of what you get out of the Carpuride 702S Pro. Just so you know, this video is sponsored by Carpuride, who sent me this unit for free for me to test, evaluate for my channel. Everything I say though is my own opinion. I'm not obligated to say anything else. I'll always tell you if it's sponsored. I'll give you my honest opinion, but I do appreciate Carpuride sponsoring this video. All right, so let's talk the mounting. So it's actually a very solid mount. It's got a ball clamp on the handlebars here. So you can see there's a ball clamp here, which is mounted to a connecting arm, and then a ball on the back of the screen. Now it's very solidly mounted. It's quite a strong unit. It really doesn't feel flimsy at all. And the mounting option on that is actually quite good. Now there was 3 mounting options. I've gone with this, but overall I'm very happy with the stability of the mount on the bike. And when I was riding, testing it, I'm not really noticing it moving. It's quite solid. All right, so it looks like it's starting to get a bit dark. It's 5 o'clock now. It's getting a little bit darker. The screen's looking really bright. It looks great. So really, what can I say? It looks really good. It does everything Android Auto is supposed to do, and I haven't tested Apple CarPlay, but obviously I'm assuming that's going to work just as well. It works with any Android Auto supported apps like Kalimoto or anything like that that is also supported on Android Auto. So that's a good feature. I mean, the screen looks great. The only real downside for me is being able to position it more in the center. That's probably the only real complaint I have. And also the hand controller, being able to mount that somewhere on a set of Harley-Davidson handlebars. Most bikes that I see where it's mounted in the center on ADV bikes. Now, it's obviously going to vary depending on your bike. You kind of have to just make it work for whatever your bike is, and if it doesn't work for that, then you need to get your own additional mounting options to fit it the way you want it. So yeah, I mean, look at this screen in all its glory. It looks fantastic. I've used a 5-inch screen, and this is a big difference between a 5-inch screen and a 7-inch screen. A lot different. This is really clear to see the distance, the time, and all the other features, like your messages, your phone battery, all those things. It's much clearer, especially for someone like me who's a bit older, where your eyes just aren't quite what they used to be. It's also touch screen, so it does work with just the gloves. So if I come over here and do this, you can see it's touch sensitive, so it's very good at that. See, it's just getting a little bit darker now, and the screen actually looks quite good. It doesn't look overly bright, so I'm assuming it's automatically dimming. I've also got the TPMS sensors on the bike. I don't notice any vibration. So from here, if we can reach up the top here, we can pull down this menu and we can have a look at the mountings. A 40.89 on the back and 34 on the front. All right, I just quickly wanted to jump in here to give you a little update on one minor thing that I've seen with this device. So I have had some minor issues with ghost touching. So that's basically like when it looks like something's touching the screen. So when I'm using the GPS, for example, the map's actually moving a little bit and I have to reset it. It doesn't happen very often, and I believe it's because I'm using the USB port on my bike. Now, it is very important that this screen has 5 watts of voltage. Now, I made the assumption that my USB port on my Harley-Davidson would, but it does have an indicator here, and it's currently at 4.4 volts for the screen. So it still doesn't have the voltage. So anyway, I believe that's the issue. Like I'm not meeting the recommended voltage for this screen. Being a 7-inch screen, and with the adjustable brightness during the day, I believe that's causing an issue. Now, I won't be able to use the 12-volt connector that goes directly to your battery for this video, but it is something I'm going to do. I'm going to be testing this out long term. I don't believe it's a screen at all. I looked online, tried to find anyone with problems like this. I think I found one other person, and with the number of these out there, I don't believe that this is an issue. So I believe that's on me, but I did want to flag it because it is something that happened just for transparency, but I don't believe there's anything wrong with this screen at all in terms of those ghost touches, other than me not using the correct voltage. So there you go. Let's get on with it. All right, let's check out what comes in the box. I'm going to open that up. There we have the screen. It's a good size screen. So you've got some cables and stuff here, so which we'll chat about shortly. Okay, so that's everything in the box. Just so you can see, we've got the screen. We have connected to the screen a cable that you would wire directly to your battery terminals with your positive and negative. It also comes with a USB connector, so you can connect it to a USB, although I am interested to see if the USB power is sufficient. It also comes with this controller, which I thought was interesting. So you can mount this to your handlebars, and it's going to give you some options to control the screen without having to touch it. The screen is touch screen, but I think it's interesting to see that you can, looks like you can accept calls and do some other activations of the screen just by touching this. TPMS sensors, the mounting hardware, some more mounting hardware, fuse. You've got a few different mounting options. So you've got your handlebar clamp. Now in the instructions, they go through a few different ways. You don't have to use this clamp with this connector here. So these are going to join. Obviously I have to mount this properly, but you can connect this. So you've got some rotation and angles and those kind of things, which will mount to the back of your screen. There is a different block here, mounting block. It looks like it mounts on the bars. This looks narrow. Oh, but it looks like you can take this out. Okay, so there you go. You got some adaptions. Some of these inserts, maybe there's only one. It does come out. So you can change that. Maybe that's to mount on the bars. I know this is a mounting piece. It's just another option on how you want to mount. And you can, I believe you can put the ball from this mount, say, to here if you're not using the handlebar mount. The screen, which is a good size. I'm very curious to see how this is going to fit on the bike. Quick look at the back. You got the ball mount, you got your locking mechanism to be able to mount this. You got some keys, security keys here. I believe there's SD cards and features on this side. You also have an on-off button here, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. I'm not sure if the SD card's here or here. I haven't looked at the instructions yet, but this is just a quick look at what's in the box. It's worth pointing out that it does come with a manual. I'm pretty impressed with the directions and stuff in there. It's actually very good. It's quite detailed, good pictures, color. It's good that you get a manual so you know exactly how this connects. They go through the different mounting options, how it connects to your bike, etc. Okay, I've just got my little battery pack here for a USB connection. Let's just plug this in. All right, so just so you know, the first one is iPhone CarPlay. Second one is Android Auto. Third one is your audio outputs. The fourth one says mountings. It says displays identified direction while riding from the compass. Also with the barometer, displays the altitude based on air pressure during riding. So it's got a bit of a dashboard. It's actually pretty cool. It's like it's got your lean angle, got a compass. I'm not sure where you would use this. Obviously, this is a pretty cool screen in terms of having your pressure and some of these details. So 5 is your phone, that's your Bluetooth. 6 is your music. 7, which is your card. So it says, refer to the micro SD card slot that supports up to 64 gigabytes for playing music, video, and pictures. 8 is your settings, and 9 is your volume display here. 10, you've got an EQ effect. So you actually have an equalizer on board. So here's your Bluetooth connection. The sun icon, it can automatically adjust the screen brightness according to the ambient brightness. So there is a power button on this side. I'm not sure how easy or difficult that is to see. I'm trying to show you there. So it gives you a few options. You've got to power off the screen, you can lock the screen, or you can cancel out. Also here below the power button is a memory card slot. At the back here, there is a USB Type-C connector. So maybe power your phone from here. So that's something that could be interesting, that you could power your phone or your camera or something else. Pretty standard stuff. You've got your standard Android Auto screen. I've blurred out the map, but you can see it's going to have all your typical Android Auto features. I need to take off the screen. That'll make it a bit easier to work on the bike. I have to say, the bike looks so good when you take the screen off it. We're going to mount it here. You can't mount the bracket through the centerpiece. A lot of ADV bikes, you can mount them in the center. Unfortunately, on a Harley, you can't do that because it has cables here in the middle, so you can't use the mount here. I'm going to mount it to the side. What I'm thinking of doing is mounting it here. Now you can just see what we're doing here. We're just tightening this nut. Now you do have this bracket here. So I've just kind of tried to push it over to center it a bit more. Obviously I'd love it to be more over here, back a bit, but this is kind of where it's going to have to sit just to do the test. One of the things I really liked about this GPS was you get this little controller with it. It's a tactile button to let you pick up calls as well, go to the home screen, and it has a couple of screws. It comes with, and I can only see 2 rubber grommets that come with this. So the grommets just fit in there. Another one on this side, obviously to protect your bars. The thing is, when I mount these to the bars, there's just too much gap, and the screws that screw this together are actually pretty short, so I don't even think they would screw in there and hold it in. Not ideal for a Harley-Davidson. Maybe the Harley-Davidson bars are a bit thicker than a lot of adventure bikes. I might not be able to use this, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's talk tire pressure monitoring sensors. Now this comes with 2. It says A, this is front wheel, FW. The other one is B, it says rear wheel. Let's mount these on and check out how easy it is to connect. Let's go into mountings. Now I had paired the front one before. It's currently saying 32 PSI. The rear one's saying 38 PSI. Saying I'm at a lean, it actually gives you a lean angle. So you can actually set bar, PSI, or kilopascals. Connected them and they worked just by clicking pairing. So for that I've got to give it props. They weigh about 9 grams each. That extra 9 grams could potentially put my balance out. So I don't know if I'm going to run them. If you're going to have them on, you probably should have your wheels balanced. So my final verdict is, after just a couple of days of testing it, I'm really happy with the screen. I think it's worth the money. Everything works straight out of the box. So that's been a positive. That hasn't always been my experience with some of these things. The screen size is really good. The only downside is not being able to mount it exactly where I wanted, but I could make that happen with my own mounting solutions. But as far as what the screen does, yeah, it does what it's supposed to. And if you're looking for a GPS screen for your bike, whatever bike that happens to be, this is definitely an option to consider. If you're looking for a bigger screen with a few more features, such as being able to charge your camera or other device from the screen once it's connected to your battery, the SOS feature, the multiple Bluetooth connections, those kind of things. Seems like a good device, but I am going to keep putting it through its paces over the next few weeks. We'll see how it goes. So there we have it. We've got to sign off for now, but stay tuned. I'm going to be taking this bike to the Gold Coast, from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. I'm doing a ride with Grant. We're going to the Iron and Resin Garage on the Gold Coast. That should be a cool ride over to the north side of Brizzy. Go out and have a burger over there. We'll check that out. Stick around, like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Thanks for your support. We'll see you on the next one.